Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa and this is Melissa Knits for Fun. Well guys, today I am going to give y'all my honest opinion about Holst Garn yarns and about how they have held up in the sweaters that I have knit. Now I'm going to get started. I'm going to tell you about their different lines, and we're going to start out with their flagship line, which is Holst Garn Supersoft. Make no mistake, this yarn is not super soft like a superwash merino. It was called Supersoft apparently because they put merino in with Shetland. And I'm going to look in here. It is 100% wool, but I believe that the mix is 50% Shetland wool and 50% merino. Now this is a more rustic yarn, but it is not scratchy. It is a fingering or a light fingering weight. You can see here it is very, very thin, but here's the deal. This has spinning oil on it. And so therefore, whenever you wash it, it blooms. The spinning oil comes out and it becomes a much fluffier, nicer, bouncier, plumper yarn. They have so many colors in this, and I will put down in the bottom how many. I want to say it's like 86 colors in the Supersoft. I'm not going to swear to that. I will put the numbers down here and how many colorways that they have in their different yarn bases. This one here is aubergine, which is one of my favorite color. It is so incredibly pretty. I haven't knit anything out of it yet, but it is definitely on the list. All right, you can get these in 50-gram balls or you can get them in these 500-gram cones. Now moving along, their next base is Holst Garn Coast. This is the colorway J. It is the first color I bought of the Coast. I just kept going back to it. And this is a 50% cotton, or I'm sorry, 45% cotton, 55% wool blend. It is nice and soft to the touch. It also has spinning oil in it, so it does plump up as well. You can see it is a fingering or a light fingering, but it is just beautiful to work with. I will say that in the South, I think this is a little warm to wear in the dead of summer. But other than the months of July and August, I can pretty much wear this year round. And it pairs beautifully with some of the other yarn bases. It also is beautiful to hold double. These also come in 50-gram balls and 500-gram cones. And again, I'll put down here how many colorways. Now for the sadness, and I'm going to go ahead and show this just because it's such a beautiful, stunning, stunning yarn, and I wish that y'all could feel this because it is so incredibly soft. This has been discontinued, so this yarn will no longer be in their line, but this is their Holst Garn Tides, which is a 70% wool, 30% silk blend. This colorway here is in Iris, and like I said, I wish that y'all could feel this. It is so beautiful and soft, and it's soft to the touch. It's soft against your skin. It is just beautiful. I have a sweater I have several sweaters out of this actually, and I have one that I made my brother out of this. All right. And in fact, one of the sweaters I forgot to get, so I guess I won't be showing you that one today. Then we have ones, that one also comes 50-gram balls, 500-gram cones for as long as they last. And then we have some other lines. And these all pretty much, I think these all have alpaca in them. They do. I'm going to start out with their Holst Garn Lucia, which is a mohair alternative. The fluff is a little bit fluffier than a traditional mohair, but I really, really love this. It is so incredibly soft and not itchy at all. Even people with sensitive skin, I would hazard a guess, would be able to wear this. The makeup of this is 42% baby alpaca, 35% mulberry silk, 13% fine merino wool, and 10% yak. It is so soft. This colorway is octopus, and it's a deep, dark blue, kind of a steel grayish blue color. It is absolutely stunning. I have several colors of this in my stash, and I do have some stuff knitted out of it. And it only comes in these little 25-gram balls. Then next up we have their 70% baby alpaca, 20% mulberry silk, 10% yak blend. It is so soft. It is about, it's a fingering or a sport weight. It just works up beautifully though. Let me drop it. And this colorway here is Bubbles. I haven't knit anything out of this yet, but I have this in Lucia that is going to become, or no, this in Titicaca that is going to become a sweater this fall. I will be knitting with this fall. And it is just, again, I wish you could reach through here and feel this. It feels so good. And it does only come in these 50-gram balls. And there are 183 meters. So it's about a sport weight yarn. Then we have their 100% alpaca lace weight yarn. This is called Titicaca. If you have used Isair Alpaca 1 or you have used Filcolana Alba, it is the same thing. It's the same yardage, the same weight, everything. And it is 50 grams for 400 meters. This is the colorway Galaxy. I have a bunch of colors of this in my stash, and I have knit several things out of this and the Space Held Together. It is one of my favorite yarns. I use this as a carry along a lot of times. It's so incredibly soft and squishy, and I absolutely love it. And they have this really great thing with this and the Lucia, but they have a lot of colors of this. This is more color limited, but they have a whole lot of colors of this. And what they do also, they have this thing called perfect matches. They're not perfect matches, but basically they say, hey, these two colors would go together. Like the Galaxy with the Space, and holding them together makes an absolutely stunning yarn. This Octopus goes with, there's a Haya. This is Haya. Their silk alpaca is Haya, and there's a colorway Mules, I think is what it's called, that this goes with. They go together, they complement each other. You can hold them together and make a beautiful fabric. And then last but not least, their CeeLo yarn, which is not really a blown yarn. This is a chainette yarn, and this is a 42% alpaca, 42% fine wool, and 16%, or fine merino wool, 16% polyamide. And it is really, really pretty. Let me see if I can get one of these. Well, here, I'll just hold this up like this. It is a chainette yarn. It is not blown. So, but it just knits up beautifully. And they don't have as many colors of this as I wish they did either. But the colors that they do have are really, really pretty. And this will turn into a cabled sweater. All right. So, I am going to show y'all things that I have knit. I have knit out of every single one of these yarns with the exception of the Haya. And guys, I have said it before, if I had to, this would be my ride or die yarn. If I had to choose one yarn company, like one brand to knit from for the rest of my life, it would be Holst Garn. There are others. If I got stranded on a desert island, there are other ones that I would want on that desert island with me. But if you forced me to choose just one line of yarn, it would be Holst Garn. And that is because I can make so many different things out of it. This is knit out of the CeeLo. This is my Salty Days sweater, and it is absolutely stunning. And I wear this a lot, guys, and I do mean a lot. I wear it around the house constantly. I've worn it for a couple of seasons now, and it has not peeled. I mean, look at that. There may be a few, like there are a few peels under here that I can see, but it has not really peeled at all. It has really stood up. The stitch definition is so nice, but you still get that halo. And I was able to just hold one strand of yarn instead of having to hold a fluff with it. It is beautiful. And I may knit another one out of, they have a really pretty red and a really pretty navy blue, and I may wind up knitting another one of these. This is another special pattern that I will wind up having multiples in my wardrobe. I already have two. I will have one more I have yarn for one more, and I'll probably make one more after that. I just love this pattern, but it has held up so, so nice. And it is so comfortable and squishy and warm without being too warm. I wear this constantly in the winter. All right. Then next up, I have a single strand of Holst Garn Coast. And I made the Tulsa Tee last year. It is wrinkled. It has been sitting over there. I did make this too big. It doesn't fit quite right, so I don't wear it quite as often. But this is one of the softest yarns. It is, you just have to feel it. When you feel it in the skein, it is soft, but it does not feel like this. You block it and it becomes something else. And look at this color. Isn't that just beautiful? They have such stunning colorways. This is teal. And it is just absolutely beautiful. So I really, really love this yarn. I plan on knitting several more things out of it. And I do have one other one that is a coast, but I held the coast with Lucia. And that is because every year on the owner's birthday, Hele, I think it's Hele, Host, that's the owner. She has a birthday sale, and she puts something different on sale every year. And the first year that I knew about this, she did Coast and Lucia 20% off, because she said her favorite combination was holding Coast with Lucia together. And guys, I understand why. This is so soft. It's the first Monday sweater I made, and I wear this all the time. I would say probably 80% of the time in the winter, this is on my body. I wear it around the house. I throw it on with sweats. This thing just lives on me. As a consequence, it has peeled some. You can see the peeling. The Lucia does peel, but you know what? Having soft sweaters and having homemade sweaters, you have to do something about peeling. I just de-peel it and it looks brand new, and I just go along. This is my favorite go-to sweater. I wear this, I do. I wear this probably more than anything else in my wardrobe. All right, then next up, I have the combination of the Titicaca and the Supersoft. And both of them, I have two items that I have knit out of this combination, and they've both been the same color. I did realize all of my Monday sweaters are made out of Holst Garn. This is my third Monday sweater that I made. And this is the Holst Garn Supersoft Space, held with the Titicaca with Galaxy. It has not peeled at all. Not at all. And guys, I haven't woven my ends in. I didn't realize that until the other day. And you can see I haven't woven my ends in. And I have put this sucker through the washer. I do put this in the washer on delicate cycle, and then I lay it flat to dry. And I put this through the washer several times. It's not felted, and it has not unraveled or anything else. And I have actually taken a swatch of just the Supersoft and then steeked it, and it did not unravel at all. So this is a great yarn. It is sticky enough that it doesn't tend to unravel or anything like that. And it is soft, and it is rustic without being itchy. But it also is soft from that alpaca. And another sweater that I have made out of this exact combination is the Kathy cardigan. And this was the first thing that I made out of this combination, which convinced me that I needed more things, not just in that combination, but in this colorway. I love this color. This combination is just so stunning. And it is warm. I love this cardigan because it keeps me warm without being too hot. And it has not peeled either. And I've worn it a lot. I've worn it in Chicago. It's been in a suitcase. It's been all over the place. I took it to Costa Rica. I wore it there, sweating like crazy, taking pictures, and it has not peeled a lick. All right, then I have one here that I held this double. It's this Supersoft held double for a DK weight, and it has not peeled at all. It has gone through the washing machine. but I haven't worn it very often because I do have to think about how to style it. And it is just a fancier sweater, so I don't tend to wear it that often. But it is just a beautiful yarn. Look at how beautiful that color work is and how gorgeous the stitch definition is. And I have not knit anything just out of Supersoft held single. I do have plans to do that. But this is just a workhorse of a yarn that this is going to be with me for years and years to come. It will, I guarantee you, it's going to look brand new in 10 years. And then last but not least, and I actually do have another one with this exact combo, but a different color and a different stitch pattern. But this is my second Monday sweater, and this is the Holst Garn Tides held double. And it is the turquoise colorway. I love this. And I have another one. I have a oatmeal sweater that I held this fuchsia color over here, or this orchid color, not fuchsia, orchid held double. And then for my brothers, I held nightshades up there. The nightshade held double. And my brother loves the sweater. It is so soft. I mean, it is sturdy, but it is soft. And I have worn this a ton. And there's very little peel. I mean, there's just a little bit, but nothing that you would notice. And I've worn this multiple times for over a year. So, in my opinion, Holst Garn is a wonderful, wonderful yarn. They have all different blends. They have different, ways to buy it. You can combine them for different weights. You can I can make an entire wardrobe out of this yarn. And as you can see behind me, I will have an entire top wardrobe made out of this before it's all said and done. But I thought I would take a minute just to talk individually and tell you about the whole line of yarns and my experience with it, and show you the beautiful items that I've made out of it, because I have knit, with the exception of the Haya, I have knit with every single one of these yarns, and I would knit and have plans to knit more and more things using their yarns. Editing Melissa here. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to pop in for a couple of things. I told you that I had missed getting one of my sweaters, but I actually realized that it was two. So I decided that was worth coming back in and showing y'all those two. And then I also wanted to make absolutely certain, if it wasn't obvious, that everyone understood this is not a sponsored podcast. I have not worked with Holst Garn to try to get them to sponsor this podcast. They have not reached out to me and asked me to do this. This is just my honest review about all of my garments that I have knit out of Holst Garn, because I am a lover of Holst Garn. It is just, as I said earlier, one of my very favorite yarns. So, with that, let me move on now to showing y'all the two sweaters that I forgot to grab at the beginning and show y'all in the podcast. So another one made out of Holst Garn Tides, which again, they are discontinuing. Very sad, tears. I love this yarn. This one is the oatmeal sweater by Casual Knit Studios, and I knit it holding Tides double in the colorway Orchid. I've not knit Tides held single. Everything I have done was double. My Monday sweater, my brother's sweater, and now this sweater. It makes such a lovely, lovely fabric. It is so soft. I really wish that y'all could feel this. It's soft and squishy and just beautiful. And this has held up remarkably well. I wore this like crazy back whenever I was going to Chicago every week, the end of February, March, April. As I was working on this whenever I went, as soon as I got it done, I started wearing it, and I wore it about every single week. And then I've worn it a ton during the winter, sitting around the house, running out to run errands, etc. And there's very little peeling. Like there's one there. I picked one off a minute ago as I was looking. So about 3 peels under this arm. And I think there's like 2 under this one. It has held up remarkably well. So this is a nice wearing fabric, as well as being very squishy and soft. If you don't like any kind of a rustic feel, you're not going to like these yarns. That's just the bottom line. You may like the Lucia and the coast might pass your prickly test, and the CeeLo. But the Titicaca maybe. All the ones with the alpaca in them, right? And maybe the one with the cotton. But honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't itch at all, but you can feel the yarn. It is not like a superwash. But it is absolutely stunning. Love, love, love both the design and the yarn of this. And then last but not least, I did a Lento sweater out of and it's by Joanna Helen. And I made this out of the Holst Garn Supersoft and the Lucia held together. And these are the colorways. I want to say the Supersoft, I think, is burnt orange, and the Lucia is papaya. One of my favorite color combinations. I love this color. And it has held up remarkably well as well. It has not peeled anywhere near like my Monday sweater with the Coast and the Lucia has. I don't know if that's because the Coast has cotton in it and it's made it a little bit softer, and so therefore it peels more. Or if it's because when I got done soaking this, I threw it in the washing machine on spin only so that I could get the water out. And I don't know what furry monster there is that's orange, but whoever that is, it looks like I had massacred them in my washing machine because there was so much orange fluff in the washing machine. That's okay. It's okay if it came out that way instead of peeling, because you still get the nice halo, you still get the softness of the Lucia, and it's just a really great sweater, and I love this. I've worn it quite a bit, and it has held up really well. So that is it. I just wanted to pop in and tell y'all about those two and remind y'all that this was not a sponsored video. If Holst Garn ever wants to send me free yarn and sponsor me, I am always open to that. But meanwhile, I will just give y'all my honest opinions as I continue to knit with their yarn, because there is going to be a lot more of their yarns knit in my sweaters, because I do truly, truly love them. And in my opinion, they seem to be a really good substitute for like the Shetland yarns, the Jamiesons of Shetland, Jamieson and Smith. But to be absolutely fair, I have not knit a full garment out of either one of those. So I will have to get right on that so that I can maybe do a comparison later. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to let y'all go, and I will talk to you later. In fact, this one's one of the ones that's going to be on my next, on my to-do list, probably this winter. I'm going to do a colorwork sweater with this. This might be my favorite color of Coast. It just called to me and I had to buy it. So again, beautiful, beautiful yarns. I love cones. There's so many advantages to knitting with cones. I will have another video about the pros and cons of knitting with cones versus skeins. And then if you don't want cones, they do sell it in balls. And they do have many different blends. So you can combine and have softness and fluffiness, you know, just anything that you want, any combination. And as I said, if you don't want to buy a cone, you can always buy it in these little individual 50-gram balls. All right, well, I hope that this has helped you in your decision to buy Holst Garn or not. And just let me know what you think. Have you knit with Holst Garn? Have you knit with any of these yarns? If you did, what are your thoughts about them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Are they too rustic for you? Are they just right? Do you love their Haya but hate their Supersoft? I did laugh the first time I felt Supersoft, because I was like, really? That's Supersoft? But I guess that compared to completely 100% Shetland wool, it is soft. All right, so anyway, drop me a line, let me know what you think, and let me know anything that you have knit, and feel free to share any pictures of things that you've knit if you want to on our community board. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me and having a conversation about Holst Garn, and I will catch you later, and until then, have a fantastic knitty